Alright guys, you ready for upper intensity, aka the last time I do this kind of workout ever? Well, you should be, because right now I'm doing some Z press. And this is a 10-pound increase from last time I did them. That is insane. I can almost guarantee you though, it's because I just got more used to the movement pattern and my CNS is more adjusted to the lift. Will I keep this up my arsenal? For sure. I feel like it's one of those lifts that can really just benefit you overall because it's a different type of stimulus because you're pushing off of pins. You're not doing straight up just overhead pressing. So I'm going to be alternating from between this and standing overhead barbell press. I think I made the best choice in doing so because I feel like if I switch to dumbbell, say dumbbell shoulder press, I feel like the stimulus is a little too different. Like, for instance, like you have to change the bar path when it comes to overhead press because with dumbbells, you know, obviously there's no bar you have to worry about going through your head. But anyways, that was my set number 2. Here's my last set of 115 for 5. And I noticed that like the exercise only got hard when my technique was off, because a lot of times where it seemed like it was like really hard to push up, as you can see right there, I flared my elbows out way too early. If I just kept them locked in more and pressed up, I probably wouldn't have that issue. Sorry, I won't have that issue, but anyways, I got it, and good things to come. And so we go on to weighted pull-ups. 260 pounds for 5 sets of 3. This is a 5-pound increase from last time I was doing them. Last time I was doing 255, I was doing 3, but now I increased them by 5. And you know, I'm pretty happy about that PR. Because this is one of those exercises where I gain a lot of strength on quite easy. And my range of motion could be a little bit better. I just, at that point, I just feel like if I can get at least the first half of the rep, then I kind of call it good, only because it's like that's where you get the most lat activation is from the first half of that rep. But because everything else, it's more bicep and forearm, the other top half. But when you're pulling the insane type of weight, then of course it's gonna get hard. But anyways, here's my third exercise. I do incline bench press. This is 180 for 2. I got solidly for 2. I was thinking, oh, good. And honestly, guys, this is my worst performing things on the incline barbell bench press. I got this for 3. I was feeling really good. I was like, oh, 175 for 3, that was good. And then I was like, I feel like I could probably just increase the weight just a little bit. And so I go up to 177.5, and I was only able to get 2 for 3 sets, and I was getting so irritated. That's the end result of all of them, was that I'd go for the third, and I just couldn't do it. It was just way too heavy for me. I was getting a little frustrated, and I just felt like, you know, I'd rather just have them on separate days. I understand why I probably couldn't do it, but I don't know. It's just kind of disheartening. So, anyways, we're going on to lying overhead tricep extensions. Another great exercise for the triceps to build the long head. And this is also really good for building walkout strength. And it's also good when you're doing them lying on the ground like this because it breaks up the concentric, eccentric, and that way you don't have to sit there and have constant time under tension. Because little people know soreness is actually not the best thing for you. It's the swelling of connective tissue, and in the long run it can damage your body if you're not careful enough. That's why I do a lot of band work after a workout, because that's what really saves you. But anyways, I do 3 sets of 75. I believe this is a 10-pound PR from when I was doing them before, because I was doing these standing, but then I switched to lying down, and I did 65, but I decided to increase weight by 10. To be completely honest, it was just me getting the feel for it, because I could probably go up to about, like, 95 on this, and I'd say it'd be, like, it would be hard, but it'd be, like, just hard enough. So, I just bust out 5 reps of these. Again, guys, if you want to build some big meaty triceps, I recommend doing this. And I've been getting some crazy results from doing this type of setup. Anyways, here's my next exercise, and I'm actually really glad about the progression on this because my strength has gone up a fair bit from last week. This was 65 pounds, because last week I was only doing 60 pounds for one arm shoulder dumbbell press. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I love this exercise. I don't know what it is, but it's just like I feel so manly. And like if you look in the mirror, I know like the camera, just the lighting just makes everything look horrible for me on the camera, but if you look like in the mirror, I look like a completely different person. I feel like I look like I'm like 5% less body fat when I look in the mirror. But we all know it's smoke and mirrors, and I don't really look like that, and it's really disheartening, but whatevs. I mean, just check that out. It's like my arms and everything's just more capped. Anyways, here's set number 2. This is one of those exercises where it's like really fatiguing. You gotta really kind of take your time on this because this is also one of those things where you have to keep your whole body stable and balanced. As you'll notice that every time like I try to push up, I flex my core, I flex my butt, my legs. It's just everything is just needs to be stable in order for you to do this efficiently. And the one arm part is actually really fun. And look at the mirror, guys. It's so BS. Oh well, at least my back is pretty good from this angle, but whatevs. The first one, like, it's always, like, shaky, but then it's like, once I get that rhythm going, it's like, the weight kind of just flies up, and it's relatively smooth. And, I feel like my range of motion on this, a little bit more would probably be better, but I feel like I got a decent amount of range of motion that I don't have to worry about too much. But anyways, that was set number 2. And here's my last set. Maybe it's just from the lighting from the mirror, because you see right here, I look way better. Oh god, it's always that first rep, guys. Like, every time I do the next rep, it's always just so much easier. I think it's also because I get the stretch reflex from when I come back down and I go straight up, and it's just overspeed eccentrics, guys. Like, obviously, once you build kinetic energy from doing the exercise, because basically you always start from like the bottom position, and so when you have to build up that power just from right there, that's always gonna be the hardest part. And then everything else is going to be a little bit easier only because you build up kinetic energy from the way down and you get the stretch reflex and you push back up. I believe I failed on the last rep only because it was just like, I was just so fatigued. Yeah, I was just like, nah, no more tears. But anyways, I was still pretty happy about that. Anyways, here's my next exercise, was the quote-unquote strict barbell curls. I try to keep them as strict as possible, but I always notice, like on the 5th rep, I notice like a big major sway. But, you know, nothing like too crazy. Like, a little bit of cheating is not bad. And I love this exercise because I actually do feel in the biceps. So I was cheating. I knew I was cheating myself when I was doing cheat curls. Alright, guys? It was more like an underhand clean. But anyways, that was the workout for today. And here's another goofy clip of me and my friends when I was training them. Alright, I have to record narration for this too because the background music for the gym was super loud. And that's the only downside about my gym, is that I can't play like legit clips from there because the music's always really loud and I don't want to turn it down because other people might be enjoying it. But anyways, it's teaching my good old boy John how to Z press. I was telling him he might want to move up a little bit in the rack only because it's safer, and in case he falls back, at least he can somewhat be able to rack up the weight again. But his form is looking really solid. You know, this form reminds me of Matt Ogus's form for just overhead pressing, just because like his elbow positioning, like he just had the bar movement down like really well. And that's Skylar, another person, another good friend, Aaron. You all know them, my boys. They're my boys, guys. And there you go. They're getting those results.